Greetings to our viewers at home. Welcome to the SAPSI Corner Office Podcast. I'm your host, Ivor Sealetsa. And today on our episode, we have Nadia du Toit. Welcome to the SAPSI Corner Office Podcast.
Oh, thanks, Ara. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, now, could you please just tell our viewers who is Nadia du Toit and what does Nadia do?
Well, I've been part of local government for the past 20 years. So I'm not giving my age away, but yes. And for 10 years, mainly focusing on the mSCOA reform. So the mSCOA reform, we will talk about a bit later, most probably. But it's a new chart that municipalities need to conduct again, and it goes a bit more wider than just a chart. But yeah, I'm passionately working with that, being in IT and our system giving software to municipalities, running the software that they actually can transact in the manner that our local government needs to, and the requirement by National Treasury.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, as far as mSCOA is concerned, it has been something that has been spoken about for quite some time now. Now, as a system vendor, you've been at the center of this migration. Okay, now tell us, what has this journey been like from your perspective, and what were the biggest challenges that you had to clear in order to get the municipalities to go live?
Yeah, Ivan, it's been a massive transformation. I don't think only for the vendors from a technical point of view, but also for municipalities. I mean, it's the change management is where the complexity can in, because it's how do you accept, how do you adopt this new way of doing things. So yeah, I think from all spheres of government, we did feel it, but definitely there's a lot of positives we can take out of it.
Okay, so now, beyond just being a mandatory compliance exercise, mSCOA was intended to be a catalyst for change. From your vantage point as a vendor, what are the most significant strategic advantages that this reform has actually delivered for local government landscape?
If in the beginning of mSCOA, and I'm talking about the more than 10 years, when it started in early days, we had these mSCOA circulars, and they were all talking about this benefit that the mSCOA reform will bring and introduce to local government. And a lot of it sounds like, wow, I wonder if it really will be able to achieve all this. But I think after 8 years, we can gladly say that actually it does. I mean, if you look at one into standardization of the chart, so where everyone is transacting on a common ledger. So no one is where you get municipalities, they transact on their different way, different charts, and how they see it playing out. I mean, we're sitting the 250% municipality. So, you can't have each transacting their own way. I mean, it makes reporting a nightmare. So definitely that's a benefit. And then one thing is automation and the reducing of the reporting burden. Because, I mean, we've experienced firsthand all reports municipalities need to do. And that was way before it's go for as well. And I think that's what the mSCOA wanted to touch and help the municipalities, because they need to report on all these annexures which they need to comply to and compile every month. And that makes it so much easier having a standardized chart, because now it can be automated. Another one thing I would really like to highlight is the improved financial capability. Because yes, the municipalities just struggles a lot there. So if you transact on the same way, it just makes it a bit more smoother. And it just causes a bit of discipline on the municipalities itself. And also it makes a seamless link between your budget versus your actuals. And that makes sure you have more of a credible budget as well. And that you transact against what you budgeted for. So it did definitely through the years of progress, mSCOA and its needs saw that. And then talking about budgets, evidence-based budgeting. So you need to budget a source. You need to budget from a submodel perspective. So you can't just have the incremental budgets. You need to vouch for what do I budget for. And if you look at municipalities with the collection ratios, this must be credible. Where I want to spend that money surely I need to recover that money from my debtors. I can't say I am going to get such an amount from my service payers if that is not a favorable budget, because I've not seen get that amount from my service payers. So you definitely need to budget for a realistic budget, which is a funding budget. So definitely that is, I think, that will also help the municipalities to also just focus a bit more on that. And then the other one is real accountability and decision making. So the ultimate advantage is for the leadership. So meaning I'm talking about your mayors, your admins, your municipal managers, CFOs. The benefit is because data is uniform. So meaning it's captured at source. So your reports no longer look at a look back, but you look at what's happening now, because that's what we need to focus on. So you also can't have after the fact. We need to be proactive rather than reactive. So you don't want your airmen to focus on trying to decide the Excel spreadsheets to see where they go towards. You want it at a grass so then to see, okay, this is where we are, this is where we need to take action. So yeah, definitely a lot of, I can keep you busy for the entire day. Over the dinner, but I sure definitely I do see a couple of advantages for the INSCO reform.
Okay. Hey, you said about full there. Okay. So now, one of the most frequent complaint in the local government is debt by reporting. Okay. So now you have argued that mSCOA actually fixes this. How does your system take the pressure off the financial team?
Yeah, it can for INSCO officials were manually packaging actually the reports delivered to necessary. It was ridiculous. You can't continue like that. So the system eliminated that. So because we capture every transaction at source, at the granular level, and that was a requirement, it's regulated. One thing definitely regulated on the INSCO reform is you need to do it on the transactional level. So all these 7 seconds we're talking about. I don't know if you heard what the 7 seconds is about, but they need to adopt a project. They need to know what is the fund, which is very important second to me, because you need to know where's this project fund going to come from and where they're going to. And then we have segments like your function, which is functional reporting for the electricity, for the water, for the wastewater. So you sort of group it in a functional course, you put like metal reporting. So that was very important regarding that. And that's where your system needs to come and play big parts in it. Because as you know, you're saying that every transaction is a two-layer transaction. And they legal under the bat as well. You need to have a system that adopts those segments correctly. Because if it does that in that manner, you can have proper reporting out there. So yeah, there was a lot of growing pains and learning curves for all of us. But I'm sure definitely now we can see and reap the fruit and the benefits from that. So definitely that will make the lives much easier transacting on those segments. And the multi-dimensional reports we can get us, let alone your regulated reports that need to do on a monthly and a quarterly and bi-annual basis. We also can see all other different types of reports that you can benefit from a local government perspective.
Okay. From what I gather here, the desired results were uniformity. Okay, so and it's a core pillar of this reform.
Yeah.
Why is this so critical for the sector, and how does your system enforce this?
Now, uniformity is a holy grail for transparency for me. So it means that in bulk electricity purchase is coded exactly in the same way for a metro than for a small rural municipality. And that comes with the standardization, not also on how you transact, but also business processes. Because that guide to municipalities on which process you need to follow, because that also makes your audit process a bit easier because you're doing the right thing the right way in the right manner. And that we also, and National Treasury is also there's a lot of effort into this, and the provincial treasuries to make sure that municipalities comply to these processes. But you need to have a system that supports it. Your foundation is very important on that. one thing that was always a swear word in the SAPSI reform was mapping. You should need the mapping. You transact on those segments. You budget on segments. You report on segments. Yes, you can have different rule at levels of the summarized reporting, but that is where uniformity makes it easier. But you know what's furthermore uniformity is that it's so easy for us to have one report that can fit all things. So, if we see, certain design assistant reports that might assist a certain CFO, then most likely a CFO in the next municipality will also benefit from that. And that is what we really love to see from this performance that we do see from Mr. Hall.
Okay. Now, ratios are not new. Okay. CFOs have been looking at liquidity, debt coverage for years. And in what way did mSCOA organizational reform assist with how these ratios are used now?
So that's another tricky question, but you're totally spot on. It is not new. I mean, that is what local government did reports on and decisions are. But the thing is, where we feel there's a change to it is where ratios were static. We feel that these are dynamic. Okay? And the ratio technically were not a monthly thing or a quarterly thing. It must be a real time thing. Me as a CFO, I don't want to have the burden of looking at Excel spreadsheet or asking for something. I want to be in control of it. If I want to achieve what my liquidity ratio is now, I should be able to do it. And I shouldn't need to log on to be in front of my PC doing it or whatever the case should be. If I'm not in my office itself, I want to be logging onto my tablet and see what is my ratio looking at. What is liquidity? Yep, before month 8. I don't need to close my month before I only had access to. For me, that is after the fact. And that is also normal. You want to be proactive, like you said before. So definitely for me, this is where our system is really for us. We want to assist those leaderships to make those decisions, but also be reactive and having something real time. I mean, the past is done. You want to know what's happening now. Where do I need to take action now at this point?
Okay. So now we have spoken about the data and the rules, okay? But at the end of the day, a municipal manager needs to know, are we liquid? Are we solvent? Are we delivering? How does your system actually put that information into their heads?
Well, we've got a product called MunSight, and it does exactly what it is. We're giving sight into the data. So, as you know, your normal liquidity ratio. Okay, so if you look at current liability, it gives you a ratio and but we need more than that. Me as a CFO, if I'm not happy with that ratio, I'm going to start asking the questions. But you also wanting to help them to fast track the process. You don't need to go to someone else in your financial department to ask why are we setting up this ratio. You need the capability to draw down. And that is what we're passionate about. And that is what we do from our MunSight perspective and also ratio patterns that we're giving to our municipalities. That you brought down to the data yourself to see what is the source, why are we sitting with this high liability balance, or why is our current assets being sitting at that, should be not in there, so what the case should be. So you need to have that drill down facility, and that's what we offer to our municipalities from a MunSight perspective.
Okay. Just to deviate a bit, okay? With your system, do municipality need a consultant to be on site each and every day in order for them to pull reports?
No, Ada. You know what? That's where we feel. Definitely, we call them more advisors. You need those people to guide municipalities. But at the end of the day, you as the municipality is responsible. You're the custodian of the data. It's your data. You're responsible for your ratepayers. No one else. So you need to report on it. Surely if the auditors come ask you questions, you need to be comfortable enough to answer those questions. How would you be comfortable answering to someone else? took ownership and they actually did reporting per data. So our system believe in making it easy for them. Even extras that they can produce themselves. They need to be able to do those reports. They need to understand those reports. And that's another thing that I think the was also passionate about, was to let them understand the chart and what's the meaning of the chart, how do they need to transact, how your system needs to transact and react on the charts, and you as a municipality, whether you're a very small rural municipality or metro municipality, if you're like a municipality working for the municipality, you need to understand the data. And they need to also see the end result, because that's important. If you see the end results, you're more passionate about what you're doing.
Yes.
And that is what we're all about. So at a certain point of view, we're there to help, we're there to give the tools,
Support.
and be supporting. That is important. Give them the training. That is our passion as a group. But furthermore, the municipalities need to walk away and feel that they can do this. And also say that they need to, if they share the passion, then the wars are overrun, because then you enjoy what you're doing and you do it so much better.
Okay. Are there any new developments that we can look forward to?
Oh, it's ever evolving. We busy with National Treasures, even busy with the process, with also helping to standardize the operating the business processes that they need to allow and need to follow, which we think is also helps a reform. And we can also, where we see where we could add more benefits for local government. So we will ever change and enhance our systems. It will never be stagnant, because, every year we're getting a new chart. And your chart is also based on graph voice changes. It is, it's never static. So everything comes from a accounting perspective, but also process perspective. So we bring new products, like we and that's what we feel on the visibility of your data. We want to give you more ratios, not just your standard thickness 7:1 ratios, but as we get to know the data, it comes more ratios we can give to the local government and to the legislature, so they can understand it better, take better action. So yes, we are definitely introducing more ratio analysis for our clients, so they can technically benefit from it, also reports, and then again drill down to the source of the transaction. That's what is very important. They need to know, are we paying our creators within a certain amount of days? The MFA, you need to apply this, you need to pay kids in 30 days. So they need to see, what do we don't pay and why don't we pay? Ask those right questions, but they want the questions to come from municipality. So, and those the answers need to come from a system, and then supposed to them we come to operate that. So yes, we are definitely enhancing and giving more ratios and extracts to our clients as well.
Okay. We're looking forward to those enhancements. And it sounds like Elstore, it is not just about accounting. It is about building a smarter, more transparent government.
Definitely. And it's still, no one of us will say that to be the way we want to be yet. You hear the stories in the news and everything, but I'm sure in 10 years' time we will be in even greater place. All comes to how well do you budget, how well do you contract. And that is where you get proper reporting and honest reporting over municipalities. And that is where, if the community is happy with what they see, the products they see, they're most likely more willing to pay as well.
Okay.
So definitely, I think there's still a long road to go, but we are on the right road, definitely. So I'm very excited to see what's happening in the next 10 years.
Okay. Now, up to you, Nadia. Is 4GL on any social media platform?
Oh, yeah, thanks for asking. Yes, please go and find us on LinkedIn, 4GL Financial Software Solutions. You guys can see what we're up to these days, always bumpy. And then we also have a website that you can go and visit, 4GL. It's here to say we keep it plain and simple. And you can see what home base is about. And then if you'd like to connect with us, please, there's contact details. Please pick up the phone or send us an email. We're glad to hear from you.
Okay, thank you. That is awesome. Now, to our viewers, follow us for more exciting insights on all our social media platform. Okay, you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube. And you can just search for SAPSI_official or South African Public Sector Institute. Click on that like button and then share. See you in the next episode.